Forever. Dog.
Sweet dreams and rest in peace. This week on the podcast, Sinclair Smith's Dream Date.
Welcome to Teen Creeps, the podcast that discusses YA pulp fiction. I'm one of your hosts, Lindsay Katai.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly Nugent.
And today we have writer Marnie Shure with us. You may know her as the editor of AV Club's Podmas feature. Welcome.
Welcome,
Hello.
Marnie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for doing our show.
I'm very excited about it.
Today I switched it up by saying the name first. Really threw me off.
I
Really
noticed that
threw me
too.
off.
But you know what? It's a Sunday. We don't always record on Sundays. We're weekend
It's a
versions.
lazy Sunday.
Lazy Sunday.
Remember that sketch?
I do remember that. That was back in the early 2000s.
Probably sing it for me. I don't think I remember it. Start from the top.
How does it start?
Lazy
Lazy Sunday afternoon.
Magnolia cupcakes.
That was really
That
good.
was really
That
good.
was really good.
That was really good.
I hope Andy Samberg heard that. And
I
he
hope
feels
he's
threatened.
fucking jealous.
I hope he's fucking jealous.
I hope he fucking produces something of mine.
We love you.
How are you doing, Marnie?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about it. It
Yep.
was very fun listening to the show for how long now? A year and a half?
Mhm.
And now being here, it's a real dream.
Other
Yay.
side of the curtain. Gotta
Mhm.
peek behind it.
It was so nice talking to you when you interviewed us.
That
We
was
just wanted it to keep
such a
coming.
fun time.
That we
Keep coming.
knew we wanted you on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much. I learned a lot from that interview, even more about the male anatomy than Starlight Crystal taught us.
Yeah.
So
That's,
I mean, what a
do-
treat.
I must say, I still don't understand how they
I
work.
don't remember what we said.
I never
learned. So
remember.
it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come back someday.
Sorry, fellas.
Sorry, fellas. Mysteries of the male anatomy. Am I right? Where's the dick?
Yeah. Where'd the D?
Yeah, where's the D? And when you do find it, what do you do with it?
The D spot.
Oh,
Did you
man.
read these kinds of books when you were a teenager?
I was into Goosebumps longer
Mhm.
than I should have been. And my sister definitely read like the Babysitter, R.L. Stein sort of stuff. I read Face on the Milk Carton and thought like, this is too adult for me, and kind
Really?
of got scared away from the genre for a while. So it's not I'm not the most familiar with it. So this was like a nice jump into 1993 pulp.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
This book reads like it was written in 1978, does it not?
It does feel a little older, yeah.
Because she's so dweeby.
And
She is embarrassing.
she's
Our main character.
She's a real drip.
Really,
She's a drip and a half.
like more boring than milk.
She's
I mean,
everything
I like
is
milk.
brown.
Yeah, everything's brown.
Yeah.
Her and I mean, she thinks it's daring to wear anything other than a pressed blouse and skirt to school with her hair back in a sensible, a ponytail? I don't know.
Yeah.
A brown clip.
A brown
brown
clip. That's
clip.
right. Her traditional brown clip.
I mean, I will say in her defense that she does paint a picture of her parents being worse.
They are
Yes.
worse.
Far worse than she.
Because she wants more. And they're very, like, I guess, what's the word?
Terrible.
Repressed, like Midwestern repressed. White. Definitely read as white to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and she
They all read
she
as white.
says she wants more and that she wants something different, but she's also always the one talking herself back down to this like excessive sensibility about everything.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a reflexive dowdiness.
I know. And also, I mean, isn't she so lucky that like a man changed her that way to make her more
Well,
exciting?
I will say that she is the most interesting in that diary entry at the end.
oh,
Where
yeah.
she is suddenly very self-aware and confident. And she's like, some people would say that I invented him as a way to like come into my own, but I know he was real. I hope.
I know. She's like, I hope I'm not just losing my marbles.
Yeah.
I have to think that if they did more than half a draft on this book, they would have included more diary entries as like interstitial Katie
Wasn't
moments.
it
She
weird that
talks
we only get
it was
one
like-
at the end?
It was like 2.
Yeah.
Which
Or maybe
is
there is
somehow
one.
weirder.
It is weirder because then that means there's like intent.
Yeah.
And you're like, but then why?
Yeah.
But then she talks about it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And we get 2 of the entries. So that is like, yeah, if it were just one at the end, then it would be like, okay, strong finish with the
Mhm.
diary that we heard about.
Mhm.
Instead, it's just like, meh.
Yeah, it's like a cheeky little end note or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't create a pattern.
Should I read the back of the book?
Yes, you should.
Okay. Katie's worst nightmare has come true, and she's in it.
Ew.
Shy, pretty Katie longs to meet the good thing she's pretty. Meet the
Thank God.
perfect guy. She thinks she has when she falls asleep one night and meets Heath Granger. In her dreams, Heath is handsome, charming, exciting. And if he's a little jealous, so the fuck what? He's only a dream. Or is he? Soon Katie's sleeping more and more. While she's dreaming her life away, Heath is getting stronger and he's getting meaner. And he doesn't want to stay in Katie's dreams anymore either. He went to visit her when
Either.
she's awake. Katie's finding it harder and harder to tell what's real and what isn't. Her dream date has turned into a sleepwalk with terror. We didn't need that last line to do that. Sleepwalk with terror? Walk with
Mommy,
terror?
may I walk with terror?
Is that from something?
It's Mother, May I Sleep with Danger, the
There we go.
Lifetime
There we go.
movie.
Mother,
Really-
may I sleepwalk with terror?
Yeah.
May I sleepwalk with Granger?
Granger.
Hermione's brother.
Heath and Hermione. Okay. So she's very boring at the beginning.
And in the middle. And
In the end.
Yes.
Well, the end starts to get interesting, I guess. I'll take that back.
Mhm. She gained some strength.
Right, where she's like, I have to fight him and I have the secret
Yeah.
plan. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like
When she realizes my confidence wasn't coming from him, it was coming from me.
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm going to fucking kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she really does have to figure this all out totally on her own. Like she has to grow by herself because she refuses to talk to anyone about this. And so
Yeah.
it's really her internal dialogue, like pepping her up and motivating her to take him down.
Mhm.
And I guess she does demonstrate growth in that way because she has to like volunteer to go back into these horrible dreams just to fight him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she, not only that, at the end, she has to trick him into letting her go back in the dream.
Yeah.
Because at that point, he's trying to just fully use her as a little puppet, just possess her.
And
Yeah.
like sap all the energy from her.
Yeah.
I guess it would have been interesting if they hovered longer in him being like super hot and charming. And it's like they kind of did that once. And then the second time she goes back into the dream, he's like already very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I feel like he's pretty scary right away because he's like, you're my special girl,
He's
right?
scary to
You
us,
agree
but not to her.
see. Yeah. And she does acknowledge that, like, oh, I was kind of a dope for not seeing that right away. I
Mhm,
was taken
mhm.
in. But she does actually realize it pretty quickly and does push back like second time he does it.
Which
She's
is
like,
why-
no.
Which is why I would have liked him to lure her in more. Like I would have liked, because I think the thing,
Yeah, never. It was never like, oh, I do feel like I would prefer Heath.
right.
Right.
Because there are people that, I mean, this story speaks to people that are in like these like, unhealthy relationships where I wish that there were more like, we do get the cycle of like the, what's it called? What's that thing called? Honeymoon cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So we do get the honeymoon cycle a little bit, but we don't get enough of him
Being charming.
being charming. Like he's like handsome
Yeah.
for like
Muscles.
5 minutes. And then, and he has like muscles and he
and
rides
he
a
calls
motorcycle.
her pretty.
He calls her pretty.
That's basically all it is she's like, oh my God, someone thinks I'm pretty. I'm in love.
Yeah. And then she's like, I'm going to wear my fucking hair down.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put on a dress
Yeah.
that I've
Eat
been
your
hiding in
heart
my
out.
closet. It is a somewhat fitting sweater dress.
Fuchsia.
When her mom was like, that sweater dress is a little too clingy. I was like, man, oh
Woof,
man,
no
this family.
wonder.
Oh, this family. Also, okay, I the first picture I took, okay, also, I found this book, in case you guys are having trouble finding this book, I found it on Open Library on what's it called, on archive.org, and they have they have it uploaded on
oh wow,
yeah, so you can just
the
read it.
actual, like photos,
Yeah.
of it, or a scan of it.
Yeah, so you can read it for free, which is what I did. Because I realized I did not order the book, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to get it in time, and no libraries have it near me. But the first picture I took is how meanly she describes the Tippler twins.
Those twins.
Yeah, I was, and then like they did not really come back.
They didn't come
Anyway.
back, and they also weren't that mean. Like
No.
she was
Well,
like, they're evil.
She talks about them being mean, but it never happens in present time.
No, never.
And like, why?
And
No.
even then, they're like, your house is maybe haunted. And she's like, how dare they?
How
And
dare
she's
these ugly twins
I know.
say that to me?
These fucking hideous twins. She's like, okay, this is
weird.
this is how what she explains about them. It's so mean. The only ones who lived there were Katie and the Tippler twins, Sadie Lou and Melody Ann. The Tippler twins got stuck in the shallow end of the gene pool, in Katie's opinion. Large bat-like ears stuck out from pointed heads, rather too small for their big, graceless bodies. Both had paintbrush haircuts that would have been called pixies, except that the idea of anything about the Pixar twins being pixie-ish was ludicrous. And what they lacked in looks, they compounded by being thoroughly sly and mean-spirited. But all they do is, like, they say, don't you live in that old house on top of the hill, the one with the fields out back? Yes, Katie had replied, wanting to pull away. Sadie Lou Tippler had eyes as flat as nickels pressed into the round, doughy surface of her face.
What does that have to do with her question?
Yeah, it's like, why are you even looking at this? Like, why are you... Also,
Yeah, it just says they're mean.
yeah,
We don't
All they do
really
is
see it.
they ask if she's... And this is supposed to be the incident that makes them mean. It's like, once this happened. So they say that, then she says yes, and then they're like, that place has been abandoned for years. They say something awful happened there, and it's haunted.
And she's
That's
like,
just a
shut
fact.
your fucking mean, ugly faces.
She's like,
How
you're
fucking
Your eyes
dare
look like
you?
coins. Your face looks like dough. You are so ugly. Your hair looks like a paintbrush. Fuck no. My house is not haunted.
I wish I could call it a pixie cut, but you're fucking too fucking fat for it to be even like remotely like a pixie because your bodies don't match.
And my house is only a little haunted.
Yeah.
I know.
Excuse me, my house is not haunted. My street is haunted.
My
Thank you.
dreams are haunted.
I know.
Well, but that's just the book is like a fascinating study in like forgetting to put detail into the writing because they're so specific about the twins.
Mhm.
They'll like talk about the doughy faces, the coins and
Yeah.
eyes and everything. And then hilariously, like they'll just be totally like devoid of detail later. She says, Katie rented Psycho and 2 other Hitchcock
Yes.
movies.
Yeah.
Like
just
you
say
couldn't,
the other
you
movie.
literally
Yeah.
couldn't find 2 other Hitchcock movies. We'll name them right now.
Rear Window,
Lady on the Train.
North by Northwest.
Vertigo,
Others.
The Man Who Knew
Birds.
Too Much.
Birds, yes. The Man Who Ate Too Much?
The Man Who Ate Too Much. That's Fear Street.
Oh, sorry.
Fear Street.
It sounds like it.
There is. I keep looking for pictures of Fear Street. Like of Fear Street covers, and
Mhm.
one keeps coming up, and I fucking hate it. And it's the boy who ate Fear Street, and there's just like bugs coming out of his mouth. It's really
What?
disgusting, and honestly, I'm offended. I hate it.
have
It's disgusting.
Never heard of
I'll
or
show
seen
you.
this cover. Whenever I Google Fear Street covers, it's always like cat, which is great. It's just a weird lady holding up a cat.
And it says CAT spells murder.
wrong
which is
number, which is like 2 girls in 90s
Yeah.
in bed
Bad Moonlight.
holding a phone going,
Yeah, and they're probably very
Yeah.
scandalized looking.
what the fuck is that?
I know. I hate it so much. It's disgusting.
He looks so
That's like-
happy about
There's
the
so many
bugs.
versions
It's like
of this cover
Goosebumps
too.
for Fear Street.
Yeah,
Ew.
I know.
No,
It's called.
thank you.
Oh God, here's another one.
Oh my fucking God.
You just turned your head face away.
Fuck that.
And I know authors don't have like any say over that stuff, but like surely R.L. Stein can look at that and be like, this is not my ethos. This doesn't
Oh.
gel with what I do.
Don't they have
R.L.
some
Stein,
stay?
Fantasmas
Say?
de Fear Street. El Chico que se trago Fear Street. Also,
No.
separate. There's
That's
so-
like Garbage Pail Kids looking.
Isn't it
Yeah,
garbage
it
pail? It's
is.
Yeah.
disgusting. It's
I hate
really
it.
gross and disgusting. It's Ghosts of Fear Street.
Ugh.
And it keeps coming up because I scroll pretty deep to try and find some like interesting, weird.
Uh-huh.
I just type Fear Street and that always comes up and it's
I hate
very
it.
upsetting.
I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
I don't approve.
I know. It's one of his lowest points.
Well,
But-
what else did Sinclair Smith write? Is this? I mean, it's a pen name.
Yeah, I think that's the tricky thing is who knows. I wonder if one person had multiple pen names or what am I
Okay,
trying to say?
I
Like
found
not just
some.
pen names, but also published under their own name. Like I wonder if Richie Tankersley Cusick was also writing under like D.E. Atkins or Sinclair Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
There's
get this.
no way to know,
Ready?
especially since I haven't looked into it.
The Waitress, which was 92. That's the first one. Then Dream Date. Then the Point Horror Collection. I think it's one of the short stories in it.
Mm.
Then there's Let Me Tell You How I Died. Then there's The Boy Next Door, The
Mhm.
Diary, Double Date, Second Sight, Amnesia, another Point Horror Collection, Visions, and then Obsession.
I love the idea that you could
Those
just
all
take
sound
a
good.
big suitcase full of the Point Horror books to like your summer vacay on the beach and
Yep.
just like blow through them
You
all. of them.
totally could.
One a day if you're only devoting an hour and a half.
This book was such a quick read.
Yeah.
Like one sitting.
Yeah.
I have. Well, did you guys like the book? I mean, in terms of these kinds of books.
You know what? I had a fine time reading it, but it was very stupid. Yeah. It was like one of maybe the stupidest books we've ever read. Like just how she is at the beginning where before she knows that Heath is like actually a thing. She's
Mhm.
like, I dreamed of Heath. And she's like, now that I've met Heath, I'm so different. And I'm like, girl, you dream him.
Yeah,
Like, I know that like later it turns out
she buys
she
into
did.
it before she has any reason
And
to.
that was what I was going to say. Like, you know how in most books, like there's like all these supernatural things are happening and people
And
are
they're
like,
in
I don't
denial.
know what could be. In
It's
this,
the opposite.
instantly, the second she meets Heath, she's like, oh, my whole life's going to be different now. Heath, you know, I don't know if Heath would like that I'm going out with
Yeah.
Jason, whatever.
Heath is really
Jason
opening
Miller.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Miller, the most interesting name in school.
Well, and then she does the whole like going, she immediately is like, he's the best. He's the man for me, this man in my dreams.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then after he starts like threatening her in very real, concrete ways, the chapters would end like, it was just a dream after all. Well,
I
which
know.
is it?
But yeah, that's the thing.
You're
'cause
either
then
scared or you're not.
Yeah.
It was very weird. It was like she just didn't want to commit to like, does she actually think it's a dream or is she just, it was very confusing about what she actually thought was happening. Because at times she would be like, well, Heath is not going to be pleased that I'm wearing a sexy sweater dress at school.
Yeah.
But the ways that they did like escalate Heath were really cool. Like the stuff in the car, and then when she
Yeah.
would look in the mirror and her
Uh-huh.
face would start melting. Those things were genuinely like, oh, he's in her room now. Like he
Yeah.
jumped
Yeah.
into reality. That was very cool.
And then
I
when
will say,
like,
I thought this was, I mean, very stupid. But in terms of structure, probably one of the better ones because it didn't just repeat over and
No.
over. It actually built to a climax
yeah,
of a showdown, which like almost never happens. It's usually like things happen. It's the same thing over and over again. Everybody gaslights the girl. And then at the end, she's almost killed, but she does next to nothing to save herself.
Mhm.
Where she like this built and built. She was starting to turn into him. People were getting hurt. And then she figured out a way to save herself and like staged the showdown and won. So
Yeah.
in terms
Yeah.
of that, definitely one of the better ones. It was just that it was like so stupid
yeah, it was so stupid.
throughout. It was like she was weird.
She was
Oh,
weird.
Before we get anywhere else, before I forget, I just wanted to say another big piece of praise I have for this book is the fact that one of the characters is Rachel/Raquel Martinez.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she is never made to be like so exotic.
Yeah.
No.
It never like, or it doesn't keep like focusing on what she looks like and how different she looks
Yeah.
from everyone else. She just has a friend named Raquel Martinez, and that's it.
Yeah,
And
she's
it gets
artsy.
mentioned once, never
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
And it
I was like,
shouldn't be
damn.
notable, but since it is one of these books,
Yes,
it is.
it is
You're like,
notable.
Good for you.
Yeah.
yeah, because usually these books are like it has to make some comment on like if you're not white, your
My
skin color and how
olive-skinned
alluring it is.
friend. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So good on Sinclair Smith.
yeah.
Mhm.
Whoever you may be.
I will say on the side of this book being very stupid,
Mhm.
particularly our main character being such a fucking dweeb. So there's a part where she's like falling asleep and she's hearing the sound of a motorcycle. It's like only moments passed before Katie was floating inside that brief window of space between waking and dreaming. She hears a motorcycle and she's like, it's a motorcycle. Katie could tell from the roar of the motor. She'd always loved that sound. It said, go ahead, break the rules. It's like, oh, geez. Like, she's such a fucking nerd.
She doesn't enjoy motorcycles. She enjoys the naughty sound of motorcycle.
I love the sound of motorcycles. It's one of my favorite sounds.
They talk so long about how naughty it is that she's buying the super duper jumbo bag of sour cream and onion chips.
Oh my God.
Fuck is that?
They went on for pages.
It was like the silliest,
Don't
funniest.
food shame me.
But
Don't
this
snack
is the
shame
thing.
me, Raquel.
This is her, like, she's being bad because she's bad now because she's like, more exciting. So she's like kind of joking around. The part where she jokes and she like gets a bunch of those chips and sour cream, and then she invites Raquel over, and Raquel's like, okay, I'll bring the guy I'm dating. And then she's like, I guess I better get some more chips and dip. And Raquel's like, what the fuck? And she's like, I'm kidding.
We're like, oh my God, we're best friends.
I already have plenty of chips.
And then when she drops the first bowl of chips she makes because she's having a Heath freak out, she's like, oh my God, it's a good thing I bought all those chips.
But I broke my colorful bowl that I bought.
Mexican bowl.
Her bowl that she never would have bought before Heath.
Because it wasn't brown.
Yeah, because it was just, it's so bright.
So it doesn't go with anything in this house. Oh, I did. When she's talking about how like oppressive the tone of her family life is, I was like really feeling it until it got to the part where she was like, and all the art was chosen to fit in with the color scheme of the house. And I was like, yeah. No shit, Katie. What the fuck do you want it to look like?
That's fine.
Like, that's like such a minor, so innocuous.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand the part where she's like criticizing her parents for like, they don't want to hear about problems.
Yeah.
It should be like, tamp it down. Don't have feelings. Everything's fine. Smile through it. But then when it got to that part, I was like, I'm sorry, Katie. I get that you're resentful, but art should match the room to an extent.
Yeah. And it should like bring the whole room together. She is
don't knock their interior design.
You know what? She's on a roll. She's like, she wants to be like mad at her parents. So she's just like, we'll just let her get a little space.
The parents are at least negligent enough to every single year leave her at home for weeks at a time while they go to this little resort in Florida.
And
also, apparently she never remembers that they go there, even though they go there every year.
Don't you remember?
Always the place that they go.
Sandals. They're going to like adult orgy. Like this is where they let their freak flag fly.
Yeah.
They don't even tell her they're leaving.
They don't even say bye to her.
She's like, oh, right. They left early, so they wanted to let me sleep. It's like, no, that's not normal.
No. And also like, why? Like, especially when the parents just like try to find things to be mad at her about when they're like, first you weren't sleeping enough and now you're sleeping too much.
Yeah.
It's like teenagers sleep. I don't know. Like they like to sleep in. It was very.
Did they expect her to like set an alarm on a Saturday?
That's the weird thing.
I don't get it.
It was also like she set the alarms and they're like, what? You're hitting snooze on your alarms now. What? Shut up.
Yeah. Also, like people do that. Like
not in 1993.
Not in 1993 and not in
I don't know
house.
if you guys remember it, but I was alive at the time.
I was alive.
I was alive and I was 12. 13, 12.
Were you wearing
11
clinging
then 12.
fuchsia sweater dresses?
Are you fucking kidding me? I was wearing t-shirts that looked like they could be dresses. I was so ashamed of my body. I was trying to cover everything up.
Trying to think what I would have been wearing in 1993.
Airbrushed Mickey Mouse for me.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's got like attitude.
Yes, and he's wearing like a hoodie.
Yes.
I was going to say there are photos of me at my 6th grade birthday party, which I used to have themed birthday parties as a child.
Awesome.
I chose the theme. The theme of this one was beauty pageant. So I had all of my friends dress up and parade around in like bathing suits and dresses with a talent and had to answer questions at the end. But I made myself MC. I would do this to myself routinely where I like had a fun idea and then I would give myself the shittiest possible part of it. I made myself MC, and what I MC'd in was a like faded yet fuchsia giant t-shirt and men's actual boxer shorts in pink plaid with the Tasmanian devil on it.
You know
that I
what?
bought from the WB store.
If you
In
had made me come to your house in a fucking
Horton
dress
Plaza.
and you get away with wearing that, I would have
Are
been
you
so
kidding?
mad.
I was being nice. I had my friends
Oh my God.
come over, look pretty, and then I asked them questions about current events in boxer shorts like a fucking freak.
Oh my God, what were the 1993 current events that you were asking them about?
It was 93. God, I wish I had a better memory. I do
the
not
recent
remember.
inauguration of Bill Clinton.
Probably like, I don't know, homelessness or Desert Storm. Was it right for us to get involved?
Well, that was gracious because you could have, as the birthday girl, made yourself the winner.
Yeah,
and no one
that's
would have
true.
batted an eye.
Exactly. No, the winner was Melissa Meza, the girl I was also intensely jealous of. I was so
You
giving.
awarded
I was
her
so
the win?
giving. I am nothing
You
if not
wanted her,
fair.
No, you wanted
I
her
am
to.
nothing if not
that was-
obsessed with fairness.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like that's a move that a 12-year-old would make to be like, well, maybe like they'll see that I'm so fair and kind and they'll be nice to me.
Mm.
And,
Well, I mean, she was in my group of very close friends.
oh,
I just thought she was very pretty, and I wish that like boys were attracted to me. I wish I had her confidence, but I was like, you guys, Melissa had it. And that's
Wow.
okay.
oh my God.
I made everybody watch the First Wives Club and eat pie for my 12th birthday. So.
That's better. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if Melissa won or Marissa.
Mm.
She also deserved
Eminem.
it. Maybe it was a tie.
And
I don't know. But my
unprecedented
friend
tie.
Denise and I were co-hosts of them.
Oh, that's
the
very
show.
nice.
She was also dressed very casually.
I don't even know what I did for my 12th birthday. Probably just like pizza and like kids at the house or something. Something very boring.
Sounds great.
I mean, now it sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I think, I probably invited like, oh, you know what? It might have been mini golfing,
Oh, nice.
a mini golf birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
don't remember. I don't think I had another big birthday until 16, and then I had a bounce house.
Ooh.
right. Yeah, I'm trying to think. 16. Oh, I had a party at my best friend's house because her house was like a mansion and very cool. So I was like,
Nice.
she was like, we can use my house, and I was like, yes, we can, thank you. And also, her parents were cool and nice.
Oh,
and
that's
my
great.
parents were strict and weird. So
Well, I was always scared to do something big enough that if it wasn't just totally awesome, you
Yeah.
kind of fell on your face a little bit, like
Yeah.
in front of people.
yeah,
So I kind of always kept it like very low attendance, very low invite list. Because then if it sucked, it was like they
Safe,
were
it's
the only
safe.
ones who knew. Yeah.
yeah. I think I remember being really nervous about people like RSVPing yes to that birthday.
Mhm.
Because I'm the same way. I definitely prefer to like not ever do anything really big for anything because I'm afraid that either no one will come or I won't be able to like provide a fun enough time for everybody.
Kinda to this day.
Yeah.
When those
to this
RSVPs
day.
don't roll into like a day ahead of time, I'm just like a wreck. It's like, well, how do I know how much food to buy?
Yeah.
What do I do? Is anyone going to come?
Yeah, I panic about my birthdays now, even though I had such confident themed birthdays up through like 26, 27.
I hate my birthday now because I'm like, fuck, to like do something and like, I don't know, no one's gonna come, and then I don't plan anything until like the day of, and then I'm like, well, now no one likes me.
This year, because I did the same thing last year, I kept putting it off until it didn't happen. And so this time, after I put it off for like 3 or 4 weeks, finally Mike is like, here's what you're doing for your birthday. You're going to this David Bowie dance night at the Echoplex and you're inviting people. And I was like, bless you.
That's great.
Thank you.
That sounds really fun.
It was fun.
Okay, I wanted to touch on what the fuck's her name again? What's her character's name?
Katie.
I was like,
Katie.
Raquel?
Raquel. So this is this is right when she's like, I'm not gonna wear my hair up anymore. So she has like her brown clip that she's gonna put in her hair, and then she remembers the words of Heath, which is beautiful hair, beautiful girl. Also, the way he talks her up is like not cute.
It's so fatherly.
It's really
It is.
weird.
It's
Yeah, he's
gross.
like, like, you're my special girl. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Katie Blue.
Katie Blue. That's what my best friend in college, his name was Katie. Her dad called her Katie Blue.
Oh, so
But
it
her
is like
eyes
a
were
dad
blue.
thing. Ugh.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, Katie Blue. Oh, no.
That's fucking so weird.
Yeah.
Because he is like her age,
Yeah.
right? Because he
I
was like
think.
a
I
high
mean, other
schooler.
than the
Well,
fact that he's a ghost.
That's
right?
kind of what makes it feel to me like it's the 70s, like you said,
Mhm.
is the fact that he keeps saying, "Are you my special girl?"
Yeah.
And Jason asks her to be his in the worst way possible. Just real
no.
quick, since I'm bringing it
Oh,
up.
no. I remember
Since I'm
this.
bringing it
Oh,
up.
no. I dreaded, like, the
I was
second
like,
he
what
said
is happening?
what form it would take. Oh, she has it right here.
Yeah. Oh, I just found the photo too. So Katie and Jason have just been on their first date. He took her to a nice restaurant because he got a little extra money for his birthday. And he was like, why not?
Yeah, it wasn't pizza or burgers.
Yeah.
It was a restaurant.
It
was a
wasn't Fuzzies,
restaurant.
the
Fuzzies?
after school
Oh,
hangout.
yeah.
The after school hangout names in these books are always so fucking embarrassing. Always.
Yeah.
Always. So he says, I have a poem that I wrote for you. I'm not much of a poet, but I hope that you'll see the thought behind it. Well, here goes. A rose is beautiful, so are diamonds and pearls. Katie Shaw, would you be my girl? And he says, well, what do you think? If I'm not a prize-winning poet, it's the thought that counts. And then she had the most diplomatic response.
I know.
Which
she
was,
dissed him.
Oh, I like the thought, Jason. Of course I'll be your girl, which was the perfect response. It's
sure.
like, yeah, don't lie to him.
Like,
that
sidestep
was
the quality question
Yeah.
and just say, like,
Yeah.
oh, you're right. The thought. Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was
and
really
I will. Thank
kind
you.
of her.
Yeah, it was. I was like, you handled that really well.
It was such a short poem. Did you feel like it was so it was so short?
And I was so grateful.
I thank goodness, because it was not
so
very good.
grateful.
But can you, like, isn't that your worst nightmare? Isn't that your worst nightmare to have, like, a person that you're just kind of courting for them to be like, I wrote a poem for you and I'm going to say it to you right now? It's like, oh, please don't do that. Please don't
least
say your poem.
It is
I cannot
brief.
imagine.
Like,
Yeah,
not
it's
unlike
brief.
when they write a song.
No, the song is very bad because then you have to be like, wow.
for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Has this happened?
I
to you
have
guys?
had men play a guitar to
Oh
me
my
and
God.
sing
Oh
at
my
me.
God.
Mhm.
It's not great because you have to sit there and you're like, do I look at you? Do I look at the ground? Do I smile? I don't. What do you? Okay, what do you do?
I
Holy
settled on
shit.
looking at the fretboard
Yeah.
to
Okay.
be like, I'm watching how you play the song. You have such
Wow.
good technique.
That's also a very good response.
I
I'm
did
very impressed.
I did like I'm gonna look like kind of a little to your right and just kind of look in that direction and like have a generally pleasant expression on my face and just wait for it to be done.
Like you're getting lost in it.
yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm seeing.
I was gonna say,
it.
what if, like, do you think it would have worked if I had been like, I just want to close my eyes and feel it,
Ooh.
and then put like a slight smile on my face as I like try to
No, that's
drift
perfect.
off to another time?
Yeah.
Unless
I mean,
they surprised you with it, because then you have to spend the whole time acting very pleasantly surprised. Like, oh, I can't believe this is happening right now. You know,
wow.
instead of like, I'm about to listen to your song that you just said that you were about to play for me, and I'm going to
Uh-huh.
close my eyes. I'm really going to get in the moment. Depends on how they present it to you, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Just make a fucking mix CD.
Yeah, and then give
You
it to them, and then
weirdos.
they can listen to it
yeah.
like as
I
you're
have
parting
loved
ways.
every mix CD I've ever
love
gotten.
that. Like I love a here's a gift for you. And then like I don't have to watch you listen to it.
Yeah.
because that's not fun.
And then later I can like luxuriate in the idea that like one of these songs is going to be our wedding song.
Yeah.
I know somebody who was being unceremoniously dumped by her high school boyfriend before they went off to college.
Oh no.
He broke up with her via mix CD.
No,
I'm sorry.
It was all these songs
Excuse
about
me?
moving on from the
No.
current relationship.
No!
And he made them listen to it together in the car.
What a psychopath! Wait, so is he just like
in the car.
Do you
That is
understand?
the most enclosed space I can imagine.
Literally trapped.
Oh
Oh
my god.
And, I think that
him.
in high school, you just don't know yet that you can say, like, fuck no, I'm not going to do that with you.
Yeah. You're just
And,
like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do feel like you can't say no. I've in so many ways.
In so many ways. You think you can't have desires or interests. So you're just like, okay.
Or it's for me, the thought was always like, you have to be polite and nice in every situation.
Yes.
For me, it was you have
Regardless.
Yeah.
That too.
Detached.
That
to be cool.
too.
You have to be like a cool, like nice
if I
girl,
was
cool girl.
if I was being mistreated, I was trying to be cool.
Mhm.
Yes.
If I was in a situation I really wanted out of, then I just felt like I had to be nice
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
just sit there.
and make sure that they don't feel bad.
Mhm.
Can I tell you a line from the song that one of the guys sang to me
Please.
in college? So it was in
Please.
college and it was in his dorm room and he's like, I wrote something for you. Also, he did not really play guitar. So this like
Oh,
made
shit.
it much worse. He knew like 3 power chords, played those over and over again. One so it was he rhymed completion with
that's not the
fruits
word.
of my fruition. Fruits of my fruition.
What were you, a project of his? What
I don't
was
know.
the lyric?
It was like I have no idea. And all I remember was thinking like, and I was so fucking dumb and not sure of myself. I was like, I guess I just don't get it. Like a lot of his stuff that he would like, he was one of those guys that thought that STEM or nothing, like STEM careers or nothing. Like science
or nothing.
Yeah, or nothing.
Okay,
So,
I
like,
thought you were
you're-
saying are nothing. I was like, that is crazy.
No. Like if you're smart, you're good at math and science. That kind of
Right.
But if you're doing anything else, you're not as smart.
guy. Right. Like
Gotcha.
so he was really into that stuff and
Like fuck humanities.
yeah, exactly. And he like I remember one time wrote an essay or something and he was like, "Hey, can you proofread this for me?" And I like looked at it and it literally did like words that when put together do not make a sentence. Like that's how bad it was.
Like fruits of my fruition.
Yes.
Fruits of my fruition.
And then when we broke up, I started
No.
I started dating a writer and he found out and he wrote a book called The Untitled Work
I'm sorry.
Oh.
and sent it to me and I
Excuse
still
me?
have it somewhere on my Google Drive.
I
And
think for a mini-sode for the Patreon, you should just read
read
it.
The Untitled Work.
Just
There
read
is
it aloud.
it's fucking crazy.
How long is it?
It's like 34 pages.
That's
Wow.
too long. That's too long.
Yeah, and it is unfinished too. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's called The Untitled Work. It's unfinished. It also has he didn't even realize that there were heavily what's the word when you want to fuck your mom?
Oedipal?
Yes, extremely Oedipal like tones in it. Had no idea. And he used thesaurus.com like crazy. So like there were
No.
parts where he's like, my dad quixotically tried to save my mom. And I'm like, so you mean he's disillusioned with like visions of grandeur or like what's happening here?
Oh, I
was
bet that
very
was
bad.
Adverb City.
Oh, it was very bad. Yes. He asked questioningly, and I was like, "Wait, so what?" I think that word doesn't mean exactly what's happening. It's really bad, and it's totally. I'm gonna say it's totally fine because he cheated on me like 4 times, so I do not care about dragging this motherfucker.
Yeah, do it.
I'll do it for a minisode. I'll find it. I'll dig
Yeah.
it up and read it for a minisode.
I think that's good. I think that would make
Incredible.
for, I think 100 more people would sign up for our Patreon.
we'll get 1,000 $10 $8 people, and I can
And then-
finally drag you into that fucking basement.
Yeah.
Unlock it at like the $20 level. People would be like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
At that $20 level, we start to drag boyfriends.
Yes.
That's our boyfriend dragging tier.
It could be your third podcast.
Oh,
No, don't do that to us.
No.
Why would you?
Okay, so this is right when she's about to when he's like, beautiful hair, beautiful girl. And she's like, oh, I remember how he was like looking at me. He touched my hair. So she's like, this is her talking to herself. I've never worn my hair loose before, except
That's
to go
fucking
to sleep.
crazy.
Why not? She knew the answer to that one. I'm afraid I'd feel silly. It's not like I'm the femme fatale type. But then, what type am I? The quiet, serious type? Not today, Katie said aloud. Feeling almost daring, she put down the hair clip and shook out her pale gold hair. Then she scrunched it, quotes, with her fingers to make the curl stand out. Oh, Katie.
You
Her
fucking
internal
drip.
monologue is bonkers
Yes.
when she's talking about herself and trying to motivate herself to do anything.
Yes, yes.
Insufferable. I wish she would discover post-it notes
Yeah.
and inspirational quotes already and just put it on your fucking mirror and quit talking to yourself.
The way that they describe Raquel's clothes, I just have to point it out. Because it's like almost a detail,
Yeah.
but then like isn't. It says she was wearing dangling earrings, a short skirt with an oversized bright red top and a wide belt, and the most unusual shoes Katie had ever seen.
What were the shoes?
There was no elaboration about the shoes whatsoever.
I was very curious about the shoes.
I mean, even what do those earrings look like? They're just dangling?
just
Dangling.
dangling.
That it's an unfinished
but
work.
why tease us? Nice. Why tease us with that they're the most unusual shoes?
The most
I want
unusual.
to know what those
What
look
are
like.
they?
Like, I don't know if whoever Sinclair Smith is, I just don't know if they had the vocabulary to talk about shoes.
They were Heelys.
Yeah. Although I do think that Sinclair Smith is probably a woman.
I think so, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it writes as like 1970s lady for me.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a
I think there are too many descriptions of how the boys make her feel for it to be a man, because the man never writes about how liking someone makes them feel. It's just
Yeah.
always like, he was so cute.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
was
like
really
the
cute.
extent of it.
And then also I think there would be more girls fighting over guys in this book if it was a male writer.
Raquel would be crushing on Jason and kind of jealous and a little snarky about it.
Yeah.
But ultimately wouldn't do anything. And I was very relieved when it turned out Raquel had a boyfriend.
Mhm.
However, his name was Max with 2 X's, and he had a band, Wax, with 2 X's.
I was
all caps.
disgusted. I was
All
disgusted
caps.
by the name of
I
that
was
band.
like, well, what?
That's disgusting. Wax?
There's no fucking
Stop.
way his band members want it to be called that.
Is it just me or was he a one-man band? I think it's just my mind.
But he was
Bert
the
and Mary
drummer.
Poppins.
Oh, right, he's the drummer.
You don't name the band after the drummer. There's like one band
No,
like that. What is
Fleetwood
it?
Mac.
Thank you.
And his name is not even, it's wait, what is it? McFleetwood or something?
McFly.
No, it's like, what is his name? It's like
No.
not even Fleetwood Mac. Like it's not even, it's like Mick.
Jagger.
I'm getting a confirmation nod from Brett.
What's his name? Brett.
McFleetwood. Thank you.
Okay.
Thunder only happens when it's raining. Love Fleetwood Mac.
I love Wax with 2 X's.
Wax with 2 X's is
And all
so,
caps.
so
And all
disgusting.
caps.
That's so fucking
Don't
disgusting.
forget all caps.
That is so gross. I hate that.
It's weird.
It's weird to put it in there, and then again, he's never revisited. I would like read 50 more pages of this book if they all like went to a Wax concert
Yes.
together. That'd be
Mhm.
amazing.
And I'm sorry,
Yes.
but why couldn't he just come?
Yeah, that was pretty weird, right? Why
was
even
he
mention
then
him?
unable to come?
He had
I
to
don't
do
know.
what? Like music
I
stuff,
think-
right?
I think it was just like, oh, I want you to know I don't feel like writing this character, but I do want you to know that Raquel is not after Jason and that they are in fact friends.
I wish that here's something I wish that we got a little bit more of like Raquel. I wish that Raquel
and
knew.
Katie.
Yeah, Raquel and Katie and like them together maybe coming up with a plan or something.
Also, it seems like she did know at the end
I
in
know.
the diary entry at
And
the
then they
end,
were like-
because she's like, Raquel and I never talk about Heath. I think we just don't want to go there. And I'm like, go where?
Oh,
you
because she
talked
did
about
mention
once.
it.
Please go there.
They
But,
mentioned
like,
it
why
once.
would she be afraid to talk about it with you?
Because it was like so scary. I don't know, but Raquel
makes no
experienced none of it.
sense.
So
Yeah.
If
Well, she
anything,
experienced the kitty dying. He killed a kitty.
That's
He shook
right.
the kitty.
That
to
okay,
death.
animal death. Not thrilled with that.
I was so scared.
Oh, the
Yes.
basset hound.
Yes, I
Me
was
too.
sure that that dog was going to die. And there was a fake out, but I accepted it.
Because it meant the
Mhm.
dog wouldn't die.
Yes. What was his name?
Bopper.
Bopper.
Bopper, great
Which is a
name.
very cute name.
Great name.
Very good name. Yeah, but the end of the chapter really did sound like Bopper
I
had
was like,
kicked the
Fuck, I
bucket.
fucking knew it.
Yeah.
But no, you know, and it was almost an R.L. Stein-esque fake out because it was like Bopper fucking died on the ground. And then it was like, hey, I'm glad your dog's okay. Next page, next day.
The Raquel fake out in the kitchen might be the most offensive fake out I have personally ever read.
Okay, wait, what was it? Can you remind me?
It was when she comes over to watch Psycho and 2 other films.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
with her and
She
Jason.
drops all the chips.
Yeah, she drops all the
Oh.
chips, but it's like she was, there was a face floating in the window, mouthlessly making like words.
Mhm.
And then it was like, it was this floating face. There was no body. Oh, wait, there was a body. It was rapping on the glass. It was Raquel.
Yeah, that pissed me off a little.
Everything I just said, not the case.
Yeah, that did piss me off.
Yeah. Well, and then just that she had the cool part that kind of saved it is that she's like, I was knocking at the door forever and you just looked like you were sleeping.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, that was
Yeah.
all the coolest part.
that was
She was
cool.
hallucinating
She just-
again.
Totally like falling asleep, standing up. That was very Paranormal Activity.
Yes. And there is a lot of of her like, or not a lot of. I'm sorry, but that one part that I really liked was when she like wakes up and she's in the garage and she's like, oh my
Yes.
God, why am I in here?
Yeah,
And
it's
it was
never
'cause-
happened before that I've woken up in a
Yes.
different place.
And she's like, oh, I was dreaming. Oh my God, he's taking over.
And we never do find out. Like you never, as the reader, get that explanation of where she is during all these little
No.
lapses. Like
No, it's
we're
very
in
weird.
the dark too.
I was so surprised that his end game was to take over Katie's body and be Katie.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
he was
like,
going to put her,
whoa.
he, yes and no, because he was going to make her be in a coma and then sap all the energy out of her and like be
Oh yeah,
somehow.
was he gonna?
And then anytime
But then
they were
he-
going to kill her,
Mm-hmm.
he was going to like have her wake up for like a second and then they'd get hope again and then he'd put her back under into coma.
You're right. So then, what was? I guess he was just gonna play around with controlling her body because he was talking about like, let's go over to Jason and
Yeah.
see how you can really let loose. I was like, are you gonna fuck Jason?
When she comes over to
Are you
Jason,
gonna fuck Jason?
there were a couple times I was like, are you going to fuck Jason? Because there's another time when she's like leaving him when he's like sleeping because he's gotten hurt from the car accident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which Heath created. Like Heath put him to sleep while he was at the wheel.
That's nuts.
Very
Mhm.
scary. So she's visiting him.
Poor
and-
Raquel. Of course she thought it was her fault.
know.
Katie
I know.
specifically asked Raquel to drive him home.
I
'cause
know.
She was afraid he was going to fall asleep at the wheel.
And he
Raquel's a
did.
good friend.
not
She's
her
a good
fault,
friend.
though.
She's like so upset. And I loved that Katie never is like, yeah, it's your fault. Like she's like, no, what? It's no one's fault. It's fucking
Yeah.
Heath.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then she's like about to like say goodbye to Jason. She's like, goodbye. And then she's like, hey, why don't we go out and have like a fucking blast out? Let's get some
Yeah.
brewskis and hit up some ladies. I was like, whoa, wait, hold up. Are y'all gonna fuck? Like, what's going on here?
And yeah, Heath uses her as a ventriloquist dummy in some weird ways, almost like cartoonishly. Remember when he's in the cafeteria? He's like, what do I have to do to get the mustard around here?
Yes. Yeah.
That
he's
one
like-
was so, I was like, that one's not mean. It's
No.
just bizarre.
It was weird.
And then Raquel's like, wow, you can do voices? Fun. Do another.
She's like,
And
whose
she's like,
dick do I have to
"Oh,
suck
thank
to get
God
some
for
fucking
Raquel."
mustard?
Raquel is the most patient friend.
She's the best.
Raquel is a very good friend.
It's just, she's got her own thing going on. She's like
Mhm.
artsy. She's got her unusual shoes.
She's got Maxix.
oh yeah, Maxix. She's got to go to Waxix shows.
Yeah.
Mm. She's got a
Ugh.
rich life.
She does.
Yeah.
So
Good for her.
I would love to see a book of her where she's like, something weird's going on with my friend Katie.
But I'll pretend otherwise
just
for her
gonna-
sake.
Yeah.
I think she's really sick, but I'm just going to stick by her and I'm here if she needs me.
She's like, yo, she was sleeping while standing up. Like, something's wrong, but it's not my place to pry.
She's doing voices. I'm pretty sure she's possessed, but I'm going to let her come to it in her own time.
She's new. Maybe this was just a thing at her old school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe this is something people did at the other school.
I'm going to invite her to my 3 p.m. Friday afternoon party.
Okay, that was very interesting. Where she's like, come to my house for a party. And then she's like, you can come over straight after school. I was like, oh, they're going to like hang out and like decompress before the party. But no, that's when
That
the
is the
party
party.
starts. Very weird.
That reminds me that Katie is almost a liar to the reader about how much of a drip she is. I mean, she's a drip, but how unpopular she is and shy and quiet in school. Because the second she gets to that school, Raquel wants to be friends with her,
Yeah.
invites her to a party.
Yeah.
Jason is talking her up. And she's like, I can't. And then she's like, no, Katie, get in a blah. And then later when she's like been seeing Jason, she's like, wow, it was never like this with the other boys I dated. And I was like, bitch, you went on dates before this? What are you fucking talking about?
That's a good track
I thought
record.
you were boring. Yeah. I was like, I was boring. I never went anywhere.
Yeah.
That's somebody who's boring.
That was so weird too.
How dare
Because
you?
she was like, because we don't ever
She's a
really
liar.
see her be shy. Like we see her
We never
be
see
adrift.
her
Mhm.
unpopular.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, it is a new school, right?
Yeah, it's a new school.
Yeah, but
So
you
then
never
what's up
know.
with Ready Freddy being
Ugh.
like, wow, I never noticed you before this. And I'm like, it's been like 5 days.
Well, and
Ready
all the
Freddy.
teachers do that too. Like,
I know.
your performance has been slipping lately. It's like, she's been here a fucking week.
Yeah, I know. And it's
What
like,
are
so
you
since
talking
like
about?
Monday, like,
Yeah.
I guess it's like we've been studying your file from the other school. That's the most leeway I can allow here.
Right.
Because
Oh.
it makes no sense.
And here's another one. All the cashiers at all the stores
they
know
know
who
her.
she is.
that's
Yeah.
so weird.
So and then she and Raquel are like best friends, and she gives us hints of things they have done together that we do not see.
yeah,
Yeah.
the mall.
It's just so it's like it's very confusing how much time has passed. And then
Maybe that's intentional. And so Heath spending some time with you.
having a real good time in that bod. So and also what is up with every teacher, parent, or guidance counselor in these types of books immediately assuming that you're on drugs?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like your grades are slipping, you're on drugs.
Yeah.
Like A+ student who is tired must be on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been wearing slightly form-fitting clothing, Katie. Are you on LSD?
That was crazy. And it's a sweater dress.
Yeah.
A sweater dress. And honestly, those don't look good on a lot of people. Like
Mhm.
No.
most people
She
look
must be
bad.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she must be fine because everyone's like, "Damn, look at that!" I was gonna say sausage casing because that's what everyone looks like in them.
Yeah.
It's, like,
I was
horrible.
wearing what are they called? Are they maxi dresses or
Mhm.
I was wearing one of those for a show I did last night.
Mhm.
And I don't prefer to wear these dresses
Mhm.
for this exact reason because I'm pretty straight. I don't have a lot of curves,
Mm.
but I have enough curves that those dresses look fucking terrible because it's just hugging my middle and hips and butt. And then like I don't have too much going on upstairs.
I think
It's like
Yeah, I have the same.
it's an optical illusion for the wearer. I feel the same way. You see where it bulges,
yeah,
but because you're above your body.
yeah.
Everybody else doesn't see it because they're like looking at you head on.
I don't know, man. I've seen photos. I've
Oh,
seen
really?
photos of this dress. I've played this character multiple times. Judy Garland.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
I have a couple maxi dresses and like I wear them because it's a specific
So
look that
brave.
I'm going for, which is the same look that I'm going for when I'm wearing like athleisure outside, which is I pretend that I'm like famous. So I'm like, don't talk to me, I'm famous. I'm like wearing like a baseball cap and like sunglasses and like a big fucking like Olsen twin like burlap sack. I'm like, oh, I'm swimming in this fucking thing. I look insane. No one's gonna fucking talk to me, but they're gonna think I'm famous because I'm in LA.
Mhm.
It would never work in any other city.
Mhm.
LA or New York, I think. You in New York, you're like maybe a fashion icon.
Mm-hmm.
You're like famous and don't talk to me.
I will say that somehow Kelly manages to pull off some very ridiculous outfits, which we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Like at our live show, you were wearing that
Oh yeah.
that small pyrokinesis shirt.
Yes.
You were wearing a large billowy skirt that looks like it was made by a prairie woman.
It was
in
it was a skirt that I bought specifically for an Audrey Horne outfit for my Twin Peaks Halloween costume, which is a pleated
Yeah, it's pleated.
below the knee,
Yes.
like mid calf, plaid. Like it looks like a kilt type thing.
Yeah,
I love
Billowy, long.
yeah. And
Um,
then what shoes were you wearing? Were they just normal? shoes?
pink like slip on little like fabric shoes from China.
So like Tom's-esque.
Yeah, but
Okay.
not Tom's.
And like, if I put those things together, I would feel like I looked insane. But when Kelly
It's
showed up,
fucking
I was
confidence,
like,
man.
wow, Kelly is so confident. She looks good in like whatever she puts
Here's
on.
the thing, it's about confidence and or
I was like, I would,
not caring.
yeah. I was like, I
Looking
would never
bored.
think to put those
Yeah.
things together.
I put them on and I was like, probably okay. And then what? I don't know. It's just about confidence, man, or lack of caring.
Sometimes it spurs confidence because you're like, the only way I can walk out of the house with these cacophonous pieces
Yes.
is if I just own it.
Yep. Yes. I mean, and you will still get people that will insult you.
For
like,
real?
oh, my mother.
Oh, okay, sure. I
People.
thought you meant like strangers.
Oh, strangers.
I was like, fuck them.
no.
I mean, not that your mom should be doing that,
No.
but like if a stranger does it, that's fucking weird if they take time out of their day to be like,
yeah,
your skirt's weird.
yeah.
Thank you.
It's like my
so much.
my mom or that terrible bully cousin that I have has come up to me in public and
Vera Light.
I mean, she might have killed somebody. We have no idea.
We don't know.
I don't think she's like exciting enough to have done that though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like
The emotional abuse is there, but
the emotional abuse is for sure there. If she were brave enough, she's just
Yeah.
not. How fucking sad is that? If you're like almost a Vera, but you're just not brave enough to be one.
You're just
Dang.
run of the mill unpleasant.
Yeah, I pray for you, and I don't believe in God. But okay, so
where
Oh,
we
oh.
leave off with good old Katie.
I have something. Okay. This is when she's starting to be like, Heath is not nice. And she's talking to herself about it. It's very embarrassing. If either of you said these words to me, I would be like, I can't talk to you anymore. Suddenly, it struck her that Heath played 3 characters.
Ah, yes.
Mr. Wonderful, incorporating Mr. Mysterious and Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. McNasty, and the poor little boy. Why did it take me so long to see through his routine? First, I get bullied by Mr. McNasty. Then I'm supposed to feel sorry for the poor little boy and let him have his own way. And if I'm lucky, Mr. Wonderful, definitely the best of the 3, will come out and play. You don't need to put Mr. in there.
Well, it seems like that was trying to be instructional.
Yes.
Of like, here's what abusive
Yes.
relationships look like.
Yes.
It was perfect.
It was.
description.
So it totally
But-
works.
But then like naming them like that almost seemed to take away from the gravity of what they were
Yeah.
like trying to help
It's too
girls
cute.
realize about
Yes.
these guys.
Yeah, it's like a super accurate portrayal of the shifts.
Mhm.
Not so much the tone you want to have when thinking about it, especially the
Exactly.
McNasty one.
And
So it's like,
Mhm.
that's the abusive one.
yeah.
Like the genuinely dangerous one.
Yeah, that's the one that like, if this was real life, probably would be hitting you about now.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's so weird that she's just thinking this to herself and giving him those names in her head too, because then it makes her seem like a dolt, like a little
Mhm.
idiot that like is putting things in too cutesy and too kiddish of terms.
Yeah.
It's like, no, she's a 17-year-old girl. So she could be like, there's one side to him that like really scares me, but there's a side to him that seems like a little boy. And then there's this side to him that's so alluring and it calls to me. That still works. You don't have to give them.
I understand putting it in terms of it's almost like 3 different people.
Sure.
Mhm.
I don't know how you do that exactly. I just know this isn't it.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to do like Little Miss Busy names for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the books.
Yeah. Like that's like so weird. You don't have to do that.
Like McDreamy
Yeah.
on
Yeah. On Sex
know.
and the City.
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Sorry. Wrong
That's
thing.
Mr. Big.
Wrong thing that everyone loves that I don't
I've
watch.
never seen. Yeah. Well, I've seen all of Sex and the City. I've never watched Grey's Anatomy. I think I've seen 2 episodes, maybe.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it was always
excerpts.
on at friends' houses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was my mom and sister watching it.
But so okay, can we go over what the plan is? Because I kind of got it, but kind of didn't.
Yeah, it's so oh god, that's perfect because I was like, oh, what else did I highlight? And it's this fucking page. So we get introduced to the thing that she eventually uses to defeat him. It's a medallion.
Oh God.
Oh
So-
yeah.
So she's like mocking him And then he's getting really angry. She's brought up the fact that now she knows he died and is just like this weird ghost thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then he recovered himself, and a conniving smile spread itself across his features. It doesn't matter that you know anyway, because you see, this is what I'm all about. Heath picked up a medallion that hung around his neck. Katie hadn't noticed it before, and it always hung down inside his shirt. On the face of the medal was a growling animal that looked like a cross between a leopard and a panther. And then this is the part that really got me.
I'm sorry.
You see this? It's just like me, the jungle cat. I'm too slick and too fast and too smooth for you because I've got the wits of the jungle cat and you can't match them.
All right.
Like, shut. You are the least frightening thing to me now.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Also, okay. He mentions the jungle cat as if it is a species. It is not. And also for her to be like, it looks like a mix between a leopard and a jaguar. Those are so
like
similar.
so too similar.
It's a cat. Similar. It's a cat.
See,
Like-
in that case, she could have said, it looks like a jungle cat. And then he could have chosen.
Yeah. Which
that,
one?
so
Leopard and a
flip
panther.
Those. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he says, I'm like a jaguar, great.
Yeah.
She said, it looked like some kind of jungle cat. Great. But when you do the reverse, it doesn't make any sense.
It's so dumb.
And this was just padding for the big finale anyway, because after he says that, she literally says, if you had, well, she's thinking it.
Mhm.
If you had brains, you'd be dangerous. That's my problem, though. You do have brains, and you are dangerous.
Wait, then why say, like, this is a word
What the
count
fuck?
situation? Yeah. She's like,
I'm
I
sorry,
remember that
what?
part. If you had brains, you'd be dangerous. But that's the problem. You have brains and you're dangerous.
She would do that sort of flip
Yeah.
a lot, and I really just think it was like to pad word count
Yeah.
before the big reveal at the end of like her plan and
Yeah.
everything.
That makes no sense. I'm looking at it. It's so terrible.
Just like characters that never show up again
Yeah.
and like little details. It's just funny how the parts that could have been padded were the stuff of the actual dreams and Heath himself.
Yes.
Instead, it's like, look at this big bag of chips.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This bag of chips is so big. What am I doing? I'm crazy. I'm going to eat them all. Sour cream and onion.
So crazy.
And then that's all she gets. That and soda.
The
It's
fact
like,
that
okay, well,
she
had
had
it
people
out a
over
little.
and all she fed them was fucking sour cream and onion chips.
So
And
high school.
Soda.
Yeah, and soda. I was like, dip,
Yeah,
no,
no.
like
Yeah.
get something hefty.
Get a fucking veggie plate.
Sure.
You fucking monster.
No, like something else, like the.
This is not a way to entertain. You
order a pizza.
Make your friends some
My
fucking
God.
nachos. I ate nachos with my
Oh,
friend Jill at
nachos
her house
were the
like
best.
every fucking
Yeah.
day, and we would watch some syndicated Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yes.
nachos or like honestly, throw a fucking DiGiorno in the oven. Do something
Yeah.
like
That's the
food-ish.
thing, though. Like this was her big plan. She talks 3 times during that scene about her checklist.
Yeah.
Like put out chips,
Oh, yeah.
drink soda, change clothes. Like, oh, my checklist is done.
Have movies.
Like,
Yeah.
this was the big plan.
Do I have everything? I think I have everything. I mean, I'm not even saying fancy nachos. I really
No.
feel like nachos was the way to go now that I've thought about it.
Mhm.
You get some tortilla chips
Yeah.
in a bag. You don't have to make the tortilla chips. That's not how it works.
No.
You get some refried beans from a can.
Easy peasy.
You get some just like fucking strips of cheese.
The shredded
Or
kind.
shredded.
Or
yeah.
the queso
you
kind.
you get shredded.
You can get shredded or you can get the poor kind.
Yeah. You get some olives.
Yeah.
I mean,
easy peasy.
these are some white ass nachos, sure, but that's my upbringing.
Well,
Yeah.
she has to conserve the groceries in the house because she's being left alone for literal weeks. And
Yeah,
she has
literally.
to keep the food stretched thin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're being a little hard on Katie
Yeah.
then. I realize now that
And it's true.
this was not fair of us.
This book is not bitches be cooking. Because
That's
she
true.
does not cook. She does not.
It's one of the few
Mhm.
bitches be cooking, bitches not be cooking.
Yeah, bitches not be cooking. Because
Huh.
she does not cook.
Yeah.
She doesn't even feed Bopper. Like
Holy
this-
shit, she doesn't feed Bopper.
Oh my God, we never
Bopper
hear about
probably
it.
is
If
dead.
we don't hear about food happening, it
It doesn't happen. Same thing as going to the bathroom.
That's how these books
Yeah.
Work.
Mm-hmm. Well, she kept
Yeah.
throwing away her food because she was sleeping through meals, and then she picked
Oh,
up
yeah.
toast and threw it in a ditch.
I thought something was going to happen.
didn't
She
it?
threw it into a ditch. I thought something was going to come back with that fucking toast.
No.
Because remember too, in her dreams, she was like trying to go to that ditch and he's like, don't go over there. And she's like, I'm going to go. And she goes and wakes up and she's like, that's weird. Then she throws the toast. I was like, oh my God, there's going to be dream toast. The toast is going to be in her dream from the
Nope.
ditch. But
No.
we just never see the toast again.
That'd
the
be
other
great.
big thing is the coffee she makes for herself, and she puts
my
it in
God.
a thermos. And she's
Can we?
all of a sudden, it's like that episode of Saved by the Bell where it's
Caffeine
like where
pills.
Jesse is
Oh,
taking
God.
caffeine pills,
Yeah.
and like that's supposed to be like what the coffee is, where she's just like, oh, gotta stay awake, and then she drops the thermos and. Raquel's like, there's glass everywhere. And I was like, what the fuck thermos?
Yeah, what was this crazy
Glass?
thermos?
It's made of glass. No, stainless steel and a plastic and then like seal it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or even, okay, this is 93. So all plastic.
Yeah.
So we have this fucking
it's not even
plastic-
stainless steel.
Could be
They
like
would
a
not have
caboodle.
broken- Yeah, a caboodle.
Yeah.
Caboodle mug.
Yeah. Put it in your caboodle makeup bag.
Also,
You
okay.
lift it up. There's a mirror inside. There's a tray on top, and there's a larger thing in the bottom. It's like a big trunk. You just throw some coffee.
She
in it.
was so mad. I was laughing out loud when she's like, haven't any of you ever dropped anything before?
That
I know.
was very funny.
When she's ornery, she gets so ornery. Also,
she
she
gets so mad at the bus driver for saying like she was spacing out.
Oh,
probably
yeah.
had fallen asleep.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What are you taking a little snooze?" And she's like, "Shut up!
she's like, I never slept in my fucking
How
life.
fucking dare you?
I
I
never
would never
fucking slept
I would
in my
never.
life."
What, a person can't blink? I can't even believe this. I wish I had driven to school today." And then in 2 seconds, she's like, that was a little rude. And she apologized.
She's like, "Ooh,
I was like,
boy."
okay. Because I was like, I'm done with
She's
you,
like,
Katie.
that coffee had me being a real cunt.
Yeah.
Also, she hides the fact that she made coffee because her parents are going to get mad at her because they're like, what, you're making coffee
Like,
now?
bitch, they're packing for Florida
I
anyway.
know, they don't care.
No.
They don't
Don't
care. They're
care.
not going to say goodbye to you.
Mm-mm.
No.
It doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Mhm. She's
worry
just
about it.
as mean as one of those ugly twins these days.
Those ugly, ugly twins.
Brett, I have to know, did you just get up and get coffee?
Oh, he was like, that reminds me. He's like, I'm gonna turn into a real Heath is gonna be mad if I don't
Oh,
have any
man.
coffee.
Brett can't stay awake
Brett
over there.
has been battling the same Heath
Brett.
situation. Every time he goes to sleep, he gets up, he walks around, he goes
He's in a
does
lace
whole-
nightgown.
Yeah, he gets up in his lace and he's walking all
Lace
around
sundress.
Oh my God.
sundress. Meeting Heath.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Amy's like, what you
Brett.
doing?
Brett,
What's going on here
if you are in an abusive dream relationship,
with Heath?
nod.
He's nodding
Okay.
so quietly.
Okay.
Guess what? He fucking saw that and heard that because he's in your brain and he can feel
Guess
things.
what? This
Oh,
is
no.
the dream.
This
and
is the
we're
dream.
all Heath.
We're all Heath.
McNasty.
Oh, Mr. McNasty. Someone told me that there was this McDonald's, and one of the rumors was in high school that if you ordered a McNasty, you could get oral sex in the bathroom.
I'm
That is
pretty
the
sure
dumbest-
that is every neighborhood McDonald's legend.
So I'm fairly
Fucking
sure.
dumbest urban legend
So,
I have ever
I'm
heard.
just saying, not like
Ever.
that. Like this
Dumbest
book really
ever.
resonated with me.
If you go, like, somebody's like, okay, I just have to punch it in the register first.
What
Here's
does it
your
cost?
receipt. Let's go back.
Also, McNasty is
Also,
so obvious.
From either gender?
I think it was guys. If you were a guy and you ordered McNasty, you could get a blowjob.
That's fucking sexist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe if it's all genders.
And listen, everybody
was
wants
really
to get their vag
hopeful,
eaten in a
and I
McDonald's
definitely
bathroom.
thought that was a possibility. I was also, I bet that this is a very like progressive
Mhm.
urban legend and
Mhm.
that gender wasn't binary. But
Mhm.
of course,
Maybe
of course.
Maybe the new one is that the kids say you have to order an apple pie.
Oh, nice.
Get the
Apple
other
pie.
version.
Oh, but then you
Or cherry
you have to
pie.
ask for a fried apple pie because they don't sell those anymore.
Oh,
So can I get an apple pie? But can I get that fried? Because I like my oral sex bad for me.
I like it greasy.
I like it real greasy.
Well, we've stumbled into another disgusting
disgusting conversation.
sex and food conversation. I'm so
See,
proud of us.
I mean, where does one end and one begin, really?
Marty, you have so many glorious notes in your book.
Oh my God, thank you
Are
so
there
much.
any that you would like to particularly share?
that you
little
feel,
flags.
we must cover.
Oh my God. I loved
impressed.
marking all the clothes.
Oh, great clothes.
Lots of good maroon and black happening together.
Yes.
Which was a very good 93 combo.
Mhm.
Yes.
Also some jewel tones if you want to hit up some like
Yes.
maroon, some teal.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, just little notes like this book is 98% italics.
So
Yes.
many, because she's thinking to herself all the time and thinking about Heath.
And then also
Yeah.
she's having to emphasize words within the italicized
Yeah,
thoughts.
by
So then they're
ton.
not italicized.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
and
that
she
is the
doesn't
way
have
to do it.
anyone to talk to, so they just have to relegate it all to internal monologue because she
Yeah.
refuses to tell anybody what she's struggling
Even though
with.
he continually says like, don't tell anyone about me. Don't put any proof of me in the real world.
Mhm.
And so it seems to me like that is the exact thing you should do.
Yeah.
yeah.
There was a lot of stuff where he was like, I can't have, like, it was hurting him.
Yeah, it seemed like almost like it was going to be his Horcrux.
Oh, can we
like just keep talking and bits of his soul will be out in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about his poem for her?
Oh yeah.
It's so half-ass he hates her.
He's so stupid.
And yet at the same time, better than Jason's.
Oh
Better
my
than
God.
Jason's. I don't have it up. It was
I know what it is. It's
Can
I love
guess?
you, Katie Blue.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I
that's
love
all
you,
it is.
Katie Blue.
All caps. I love you, Katie Blue.
And she's like, haha, now my plan is in action.
Except that didn't make sense. What did she think she was going to prove by having it in the real world? You know what's happening. You've accepted that you're in danger.
Maybe she could tell her friends.
The
That's not
recording
gonna- the
plan
recording
was
is a good
great.
plan.
Yeah.
Because like his voice did come through the recorder in her dream. I don't even care how that happened. But
Yeah.
the fact that it did was, like awesome.
Mhm.
But yeah, the note, especially with a note that short, it's like she could just have written it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I know.
It's not
He
like
wrote
there's a
it.
handwriting thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like anyone would be like, oh, yeah, that's his
that dead
handwriting.
kid
Mhm.
did in fact write this.
Wait, so what was the plan? Because we never really got around.
Oh,
How was she
right.
going to kill him?
So what happens in the end is, did you highlight any of this?
Just that it seems like in the dream, you have to replicate the way that the real person died in real life,
oh.
right? Because that's the road where he had the motorcycle. I read
Yeah.
it
It was,
twice
like,
and it's still
not-
honestly a little fuzzy.
So it was like he wasn't, for some reason, she like, it occurs to her that maybe there is some kind of power in the medallion, which makes no sense. That
yeah,
wasn't
like
set
why
up
the medallion?
at all.
We don't know.
I do kind of, maybe it's just, so he refuses to cross the street because that's where he died or go
Yeah,
into
okay.
the street. But he wants that medallion. He feels like it's really important to him. So she makes him chase after her,
Mhm.
or she just wants to get it to the other side of the street where he can't get it. And then it's like he won't have any power anymore. And it's like so close to it's almost smart
Yeah.
and makes sense, but
Well,
isn't quite and
Well,
doesn't quite.
So she has to replicate the way he dies, right? And where he died. So she tries to lure him into the street, but she like runs so fast he has to get his motorcycle.
she runs. Well, maybe the medallion was just a way to go through the ruse of going into the house. She's like, I want to see how I look in this
Right.
medallion in the mirror. And then she sneaks out the back.
Mm-hmm.
So she has enough time to get that much farther away. But on a motorcycle, I do feel like he would just caught her. Yeah.
Instantly.
Instantly.
Mayhap.
Oh, and then she's in like neck high grass.
Yeah, which is such a dream thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says Katie headed for the open field behind the house. Beyond it was the main road. It was the road where Heath had had his motorcycle accident years ago. It was the road he couldn't cross.
Okay,
It's
so you
not
couldn't
really
cross
an
it.
explanation.
No, I guess we just have to trust a lot of dream logic
Yeah.
on this one. But then the medallion does come with her back to the waking world.
Yeah, she puts it in a little
Maybe
box.
that's what it is. It was like the closest thing to him, the thing that he like identified with the
Mhm.
most.
Mm-hmm.
So if that could be her proof that she brings into the real world, maybe that's what
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
But then she doesn't actually show it to anyone. So,
yeah, she
you know,
never
like if
looks
a
at
tree
it.
falls in the forest, like she has
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
box of a medallion and won't
Yeah.
open it.
But she feels no need to actually show the
It's
proof to
Schrodinger's
anyone.
cat.
Yeah.
And she
Heath's
could have, yeah.
Schrodinger's jungle cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is because she doesn't want to open
She's
it
like,
in case
it
there's
might not be
nothing
in
in
there.
there. Where she could have shown it to Raquel.
Yeah.
And been like, I have his blood. He was haunting me. She's like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And she tells her the story. For some reason, Raquel believes her. And that's what, like, it totally draws his power away. And that's why at the end, they're like, we don't talk about it much anymore because we don't want to.
Also,
Yeah.
especially for being a story that is kind of instructional about like abusive relationships, it would have been helpful for Raquel to be someone that was more involved and with her, because it's like
Yeah.
your community, your friends, your family, that's who's going to
The
help you through
support.
this.
Yeah.
That, like, that support network. It's important to not let someone isolate you from people.
Yeah.
It would have just been cool to see her play off of her
Yeah.
best friend in that way too. Like just
Yeah.
give Katie someone to bounce off of.
yeah.
And then we would have had more than just drip, drip Katie.
And then when she says the McNasty thing,
Enjoy.
she can be like, that's dumb.
Scolding herself for brewing the coffee too
Yeah.
strong again.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of my notes are just fun little mistakes that I found because I am a copy editor. I love finding
Yes.
mistakes.
Oh, share some of them.
The funniest, well, Freddie's name changes spellings a whole lot.
Really?
Yeah.
For real? Like Y and IE?
Like on the same page, yeah.
What?
Which, okay, that's fine. But
No, it
one
isn't.
time...
That's unacceptable. That's a pretty big same page.
It's kind of funny. But the less forgivable one is that they refer to Katie going to work instead of school.
What? Oh my God.
It says, it was daylight now, and Katie knew there was no way she'd be able to drive to work in her present condition. She doesn't go to work.
She doesn't go to work.
She's on her way to school.
She has no
I
job.
wonder if that's in mine because we do have slightly different versions.
Mhm.
I wonder if yours is like a really rare.
But I don't know where to look.
The back of the book was a little different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Your the description that you read was a little more rock and roll than this one.
Ooh.
This one's a little more flowery.
Oh, really?
Read
Yeah.
yours. Read it.
Shy, pretty Katie is dying to meet the perfect boy and fall in love. Then one night when she's asleep, Heath Granger walks into her dreams. He's handsome, charming, and exciting. And if he's a little bit possessive, so what? He's only a dream. But
Oh.
soon, Katie is sleeping more and more, and Heath is becoming stronger and meaner. He doesn't just want to be part of Katie's dreams. He wants to visit her when she's awake, too. Katie's dream date is taking over her life and turning it into a living nightmare.
Oh, shit.
I think yours was better.
Wait,
Oh,
can
you
I
think?
see what edition
I mean, it is
the...
Ever so
This is third
slightly
edition.
an exaggeration about the boy thing. Because really, she's just dreaming about being outgoing and different.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wait.
mean, I'm sure like the
It made
boyfriend
it
is
sound
part of it.
more like they were going on dates in the dream, which would have been kind of cool if like
That
she
would be
really
cool.
got into him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought they were
Tell what
carrying out a
edition
whole
that is.
relationship. Instead, he was just like being weird.
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
it's still third. But then, hold on.
It's also not exciting.
So that's a first printing.
Mine?
Yours.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
This is, yeah, it doesn't say first Scholastic printing, just a Scholastic.
If you look this book up on Google,
Oh, it does. I somehow hit the page. It does say she'd be able to drive to work in her present condition.
maybe
That's
there was a
fucking
draft where she had an
crazy.
after-school job,
Yeah.
which
No,
would
but
add
then
another
she-
element to it.
That's when the bus comes.
Oh,
Wait, so she
All
takes
right.
the bus to work?
Oh, she takes
School
it to
bus.
school, and then the what are they? The Tipper twins, Tippin
The
twins,
Uggo
Tippler.
twins.
Tippler
They're
twins.
just, they're so hard to look at.
And then like nothing really happens with them. She just
Nothing.
like scowls at them. She's like,
She just
"What?
hates
I'm awake.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck you."
She's just mean to everybody.
Yeah. If you look this up on Google Books,
Mm-hmm.
very, that big box with the big title
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
Google, it just says Dream Date.
Dream. Yes.
Just a big
It
typo.
does. It says Dream Date.
Oh, I think we saw that when we were Googling what books we wanted to do.
Dream Date.
And it was confusing.
A lot slipped through the cracks with Sinclair
Yeah,
Smith.
Poor
Jeez.
Sinclair Smith. So we do see that in the beginning of your book, or was it yours? It says Sinclair Smith asserts his right to be named as Sinclair Smith in this
Oh.
whatever.
Wait, what?
Mhm.
Yeah, look on the
On the back?
Identified as the
in
author.
one of the first couple pages. Next.
Oh, so there must have been an act in 1988 where you got to retain the rights of
Yeah.
your pen name.
Yeah, I think maybe it was like pursuant to 1988 something. Maybe it was your book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Marnie.
Copyright Designs and Patents Act of 1988.
Sinclair Smith.
So you really get to
Wow.
just like hide behind that, which is kind of a cool right.
That is kind of cool. Because that would be paparazzi would be all over Sinclair Smith.
Yeah, and then just like other fun little lack of specificity throughout. It's like, she talks about a song on the radio.
Yeah.
Those unusual shoes. I just loved it because the author was clearly very excited to tell the story as they imagined it.
Yeah.
Without having to like kind of rushing past the world building aspects of it in a really funny way. So
I didn't understand why instead of going to the thing, we only ever saw Katie remembering the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was so that like Heath could feel the energy of her memories. But it read very strangely. So like even
the
if there was
party.
intent behind it, it made for such a weird read to only be knowing in the past what happened.
It put her even more in her own head because you didn't get to see her out in the world
Yeah,
at that party.
Puts us even more in her head, where I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there the whole time.
I know. Well, I would say though, still, it was like it's such a quick read that you don't really lose anything by reading it.
Yeah.
So you might as well read it.
Yeah, give it a read.
That's some pretty glowing praise.
Yeah. Have there been other books that you guys have read that kind of deal with that? Like, a boyfriend might not be the best guy, might be abusive. It seems instructional.
You know what's weird? Yeah, it did seem kind of didactic. It's
Not as much.
We haven't seen that.
Not as much of a like full lesson. There are certain. Here's the real problem: is that in a huge like shared shitty thing that like trope is for there to be a love interest red herring where they are so shitty that by the end they are unforgivable.
Sure.
And yet they still end up with
But they're
them.
not the killer.
So it is the opposite.
So all is forgiven.
Yeah, it's
the
seriously
opposite.
like
So then it's
straight
like,
up
give them a
stalker,
chance.
straight up,
It's like,
like kind of like emotionally
rapey.
abusive, rapey, weird, like just bad, no boundaries.
so if anything, it does the opposite. It's sort of like, yeah, but I mean, he's like not a murderer.
yeah,
And
it kind
that's
of
like
does.
the big, like, oh, well, I guess he wasn't doing it. So it's okay
Yeah.
that he was like such a fucking dick to me and talks down to me and makes me feel stupid and generally manipulates my emotions.
Yeah.
Jason would never do any of that. Jason's a doll.
Jason's like one of the best
Perfect.
guys we've ever read about.
Yeah.
And she like calls it out exactly too. She's like, wow, if Heath were here, he would be doing this, but Jason's not doing that at all. And like, he has big, strong hands, but when he holds me, they're so gentle.
But they
He
are
doesn't
strong.
feel
They are
the
strong.
need. Yeah. He doesn't feel the need to exert that strength.
He doesn't need to possess me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
he
is
doesn't.
great. Oh, that's something. I think that's a big thing I liked about the differences between the blurb on the back between our books is that yours said possessive and mine said jealous. Because I feel like possessive is so much worse.
Scarier.
Yeah, because
It
it
is
comes
scarier.
with jealousy, but it's also like
It's
you are
acting.
mine. It's like very
Yeah.
like you take full on ownership as though you're a thing.
Mhm. It is definitely scarier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like, I think that there's like a real possibility that like someone could read this and read those things in it and be like, oh, maybe my boyfriend does suck.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe my
know?
friend's boyfriend does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you the Katie or are you the Raquel?
True.
Have to be one of them.
There's
Everybody
the only
Look at your
yeah.
shoes. Are they unusual?
No longer is it virgin and whore. It is Katie Raquel.
Katie Raquel.
Brown hair clip, unusual shoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are your only options, lady.
But yeah, I guess it was a fun read, even though it was, like you said,
Again, structurally
agree.
one of the stronger.
structurally strong, very, very stupid.
With
Yeah.
like 3 very cool things that happen.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, what more can you ask from one of these books?
That's right.
Yeah.
Had a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on and doing the
Yeah.
show.
Thank you so much for having me. That was
we
great.
really appreciate it. You were awesome.
Oh,
Do you have anything that you would like to plug?
Oh gosh. Well, I would just say read Podmass. It's a column that the AV Club does every Monday, and it rounds up the previous week's best podcasts. And you guys have been shouted out on there numerous times. And
you.
lots
appreciate
of lots of great stuff on there. And it's so fun editing because I find new shows to listen to every single week. So yeah, just check that out.
Cool.
Awesome.
I used to read that just obsessively.
Really?
Obsessively.
Me too.
Oh, that's great.
I was like, I wish I could be on this list.
Look at you
now
now.
I am.
You've got a best cast.
You're
You've got
gonna
a
do
podcast.
it.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah, but don't listen to the commenters because they complain about shows a lot. And
Never.
we're very show positive on Podmas.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
like
you are.
everything. So yeah.
It's a good feature, and you do a good job.
Yeah, you do a great
so
job.
much.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. If you are reading along, the next thing we are going to be talking about is Game of Triumphs,
Oh yeah,
a book about like tarot and other maybe murder. I don't know. I'm not sure.
yeah. This is a newer book
Mhm.
that we are doing because our guest will be Veronica Osorio, who you may know from the Forever Dog podcast, Treks in the City.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's going to have a new podcast on the network about tarot cards. So that's why we chose it. Very
Sounds
fun.
great.
Yeah. So
Sounds
look
Um,
out
like
for
a
that.
future write-up for
Yeah.
Podmas.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Brett is shaking his fist in triumph.
It's Heath.
Triumph.
Heath has his body.
Called you out,
called you
motherfucker.
And we wanted to also say a huge thank you to our Patreon listeners. You guys make our show possible. You essentially help produce our show, and we're so thankful for that.
Yeah, you're way better than Brett. Brett just does a bunch of work, but you guys make it
give us
possible.
money.
It helps us pay our guests. It helps reimburse for parking. It helps buy books.
Yeah.
Everything.
So we really appreciate it. If
Yeah.
you guys want to get on board with the Patreon train, go to patreon.com/teencreeps. And that's where you can find out all of the lovely details there. You can follow our show on social media at Teen Creeps Pod.
Mm-hmm. Just any of the ones you can think of. That's what it is.
where we are on
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So that about wraps it up. Thank you again, Marnie.
Thank you so much, Marnie.
This was great.
Mhm. Thank you again for listening, and keep it creepy.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Kelly Nugent, Lindsay Katai, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.